Hey guys, while I might not really be a big Star Wars fan, these really are true lightsabers in your pocket. We're going to do a really quick comparison video for you guys of the SureFire EDC1-DFT Turbo against the Olight Baton Turbo. So grab yourself something cold to drink. We're going to hit the workbench. Let's get to it. All right, guys, back on the workbench here. So, well, while this channel's called Guns, Gears, and Beers, I'm trying a cider tonight. Got an incline cider, cucumber jalapeno. And, yeah, I don't really know what to think of it yet. So, anyway. So anyways, guys, if you guys have watched a lot of my videos, you guys know I'm kind of a, not that I consider myself an Olight guy, but I do have quite a few of them. They're good lights for what they are. I have really tried to move away from the Olight weapon light world. I've been running a lot of SureFires on stuff and some stream lights as well. But you really can't beat Olight for their user interface with their EDC lights. They're just top notch when it comes to that kind of a thing. So really quickly here, before we get into SureFire, why don't we run through the Olight here? So the Olight user interface is really cool. So if you guys have seen a lot of the batons that they have, the Seekers. The Seeker line has these little lights here on the side. So this light right here on the side that comes on the sphere battery indicator. So 4 lights indicates your battery is fully charged. You push it, turns off, shows you how much battery you have. Turn it back on, you got your peak intensity for the light. So right now we're on low. So you hold down the button, goes up again, hold it up, kicks up to the second notch, hold it down, third, double tap, double tap, goes into turbo. So for this particular light, guys, for the Olight Baton Turbo, you're sitting at 1,000 lumens in turbo mode with 65,000 candela. That's pretty insane for a tiny little light like this. So you can, I'll put a picture right here of the intensity levels for each setting for the Olight Baton Turbo. Pretty good, guys. One thing I really like and that I've always liked about Olight is the moon mode. So if you hold down the button for like 3 seconds, it gets you into this super low moon mode. If you guys can even see that, maybe there on my sweatshirt. It's just a few lumens. Again, you can look back on that chart there and you can see it. And for doing like admin tasks, it's so perfect. Not a lot of lights have that lumen mode, that moonlight mode. And I find myself using that almost as much as any other setting on the light itself. Now, this light right here, guys, I wouldn't really call this an admin duty type light. This light provides a lot of throw. That's why it's got that really big candela level. Most of my Olights that I'm used to, guys, this is my Olight S2R Baton 2. I've been carrying this light for a couple years now and have been carrying the S2R Baton 2 series for a while now. Pretty worn down from touching my wallet and stuff like that in my pocket, but it's perfect. I don't remember the exact specs on this light, but it's a really good pocket light. I do wish it had a tail cap. Now, they did come out with the Warrior Mini. It had some problems with turning on in your pocket and stuff like that with the tail cap, so I don't tend to carry that one as much. I've kind of gone back to this. But this is a really good light. But what I was getting at here, guys, is with the typical Olight pocket clip here, you have a bezel up. Now, some might think that's weird. I actually like bezel up in a light because it keeps the light from getting scratched up in your pocket with like perhaps your wallet or like a spare magazine or keys or something like that. With the SureFire and the Baton, you have bezel down. No, that's cool. It just takes a little bit to get used to here, but you know, it is what it is. So you got kind of the blue Olight accents here, you know, is what it is. One thing that I will say is cool, continuing about Olight, you all get that magnetic tail cap charger, which is compatible with pretty much all their Olight lines. So you don't need to take the battery out to charge it. So that's really cool. Continuing on with that, you do get a pretty big head there with the Turbo series versus like the regular like S1 and S2R series. This is an older light. I don't even think they make it anymore, but I love this light. So there you go, guys. Good light. You know, it's pretty small in the pocket when you start comparing it to like the SureFire EDC1-DFT. It is pretty small compared to that. So let's set the Olight aside here and let's start talking about the SureFire. SureFire EDC1-DFT KF1B DFT head. This thing is a lightsaber. So with the SureFire, you have 650 lumens, so it's a little bit less than the 1,000 lumens of the Baton Turbo. However, you have 95,000 candela with the included battery. That's an absolute laser beam. I'll put up the picture here on either side of the specs of the SureFire It does have a kind of the same type clip as the Olight does. It's kind of a reversible clip. So you can clip it in your pants like this, or you can clip it onto the back or front of a ball cap like this. Pretty similar to the Olight's. It does have a tail switch, or tail button, push button, which I really like. So with this light, you get two settings. So you get all the way on, that's your 650 lumen, 95,000 candela. And then if you tap it one more time, you get 25 lumens. So it's a lot less. So, you kind of got your spot, and then you got like your admin up close, checking stuff like in your garage type thing. So yes, you do get a lot less features with it. One thing I will say that I do like about this particular SureFire light is it's got these little indents right here to where the pocket clip sits in, and the pocket clip won't rotate in your pocket. When you look at something like this Olight Baton Turbo, it just sits in this little lipped area right here where this pocket clip can move back and forth. I'm not going to move it right now because I have it kind of set where I want it, but it just moves back and forth. I don't really like that. When you go back a few years with the S2R series, the pocket clip sits in this little ridge. It's focusing right there. You see that? So the clip won't rotate. So I kind of wish that this light would have came with that. Is it a deal breaker? Absolutely not. But just something to kind of keep in mind there, that the light could potentially spin on the clip. You do have the little spot right there, which is pretty standard for Olights, where you can put the lanyard ring in there. You don't really have that with this light. You do have a little spot right there, the hole where you could put a lanyard or, whatever you wanted to do on there. But yeah, so 650 lumens, 95,000 candela, 1,000 lumens, but you get 65,000 candela. So a little bit smaller. As you can see here, guys, yes, the Baton Turbo is a lot smaller than the EDC1-DFT. So does size really matter? Let's find out. All right, why don't we stick these in the pocket and we'll show you what that looks like. But first, so starting with the SureFire light here, guys, sits pretty flush down there in the pocket with that deep carry clip. I'm all about deep carry clips because my hands they kind of get scraped up on all my tools when I'm putting my hands down inside there. So I find my pinky gets kind of caught on my Leatherman usually most of the time. But if you kind of like stretch forward a little bit, it's good. But deep carry clip works really well. So the SureFire light, guys, imprints a little bit in the pants depending on what you wear. If you're a skinny jeans guy, that might not be the best thing. But I tend to wear these like pretty generic Walmart Wranglers, so they're pretty good. So deep carry, guys, pretty good. With the Baton Turbo, same thing. Sits nice and flush down in the pocket. You don't even know it's there. And with it being small, a lot smaller than, say, the SureFire here, it doesn't interfere with like your wallet or like your spare like pistol magazine and stuff like that as much as like the SureFire is going to. So, for pocket carry, the Olight is definitely a win. Let's get outside. Let's see what these look like in the darkness. All right, guys, I'm standing on the street in front of my house here. We live kind of down a county road, so pretty dark. You might have some little bit of ambient light in there. We got coyotes off in the distance making some noise, and my dogs are sitting right here, and I'm waiting for them to go nuts. So we're gonna try to do this rather quick here. So first up, guys, is the SureFire EDC1-DFT. First thing, there's a coyote. First thing is turbo right away when you push it. So way down there, it's kind of foggy tonight, so it might be kind of hard to see, but that's probably about 600 feet down to the very end of that driveway. So that's pretty good with the SureFire EDC1-DFT. Again, you get 650 lumens, 95,000 candela. When you let off the momentary button, it goes right back to the same thing you just had. So if you push once and then tap slowly, that's the 25 lumens, and I don't quite remember how many candela, but you can go back and look at that sheet that I put up there. So those are the only two options that you have here. So let's go to the Olight. Fits in my pocket here. So the first thing I'm going to do here, guys, I'm just going to kind of ramp the Olight up. So that's probably in the moon mode. You can't even see it here. Maybe I'm shining around. You can kind of see it. Do the first step up, second step, third step. Now we're going to double tap. So you get the 1,000 lumens and like 65,000 candela. So it's hard to tell here in the photos, but the Olight has a slightly wider beam. I'll grab the SureFire and kind of do it off the side here. I want to say the Olight is more of a cooler color temperature than the SureFire. SureFire over here is kind of a warmer color. This is kind of a colder color. but you get a little bit of a tighter spot right here with the SureFire. Then you get a little bit more of an open spot with the Olight. I think both of these lights, guys, are absolute laser beams, and you really can't beat either one of them. If the Olight had a tail switch, it'd be a perfect light. Okay, so again, here's the SureFire EDC1-DFT turbo. Here's the Olight Baton turbo. Now, just for comparison, I have a SureFire X300 turbo on my Glock 47 here. I'm just going to shine it as well. So that's the X300 turbo. So it's an absolute laser beam, guys. All right, let's go back in the shop. Let's wrap this up. Well, okay, there it was. Kind of quick, but you kind of get the gist of kind of what each light looks like, right? So you really can't go wrong with either light. Now that we've shown you the laser beams outside, let's talk about the one thing that everybody kind of realizes with these two products, and that is the price. So the Olight Baton, I think, comes in, I don't even know. I think it was like 60 or 70 bucks when I bought it when it first came out. They just had their Black Friday sales where you could have got them bundled for like 49 bucks with something else. So yes, sub 100 bucks. This is an awesome light for what it is. Now let's talk about the SureFire EDC1-DFT. This light, I think, retails, guys, for around $250. So yes, a lot much more expensive than the Baton. I paid $169 for this from a website called Borelli's, I think is what it's called. And I still spent a pretty penny for just a single handheld flashlight. You can get them more expensive, you can get them cheaper. It kind of depends on where you go. But yes, I think they're like 220 bucks on Amazon right now. So yes, a lot more expensive than this. It's bigger in the pocket. It has less features. You have to take the battery out to recharge it. That's one thing I forgot to mention. It comes with a micro USB cable, I think it is, for the included SureFire battery. So yes, it's a little bit more steps. If this particular Olight had a tail cap button, this light would probably win hands down. But for me, I do really like the really quick pull it out of your pocket and you have instant turbo mode. That part I like. Is it a big deal to pull this out of your pocket and double tap? Maybe not. Depends, you know. But this light, if Olight came out with a light, this exact light with a push button on the back, a tail cap, that would definitely be a winner. I do really like the SureFire, and I really do like the Olight when it comes to this turbo series. I am a big fan of early Olight models, the S1R Baton, the S2R Baton. This kind of follows that line. It's got simple knurling. It's basic. It doesn't have sharks or anything else stupid as shit engraved on the side. It's just a basic light, and that's one thing that I do really like about this particular Olight. I also love the basicness of the SureFire. It's a simple anodizing. They have their logo on the side. They have the model of the light, and it's basic. That's it. You know, guys, it kind of comes down to personal preference. If you're watching this, you're probably into other EDC stuff as well. So appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If there's anything else you guys would like to see comparison-wise, let me know. Got a ton of lights, got a ton of knives and multi-tools and guns, and I'm trying to do stuff. I'm working on finishing up a PSA Jackal video here soon. Hopefully I can get some more of that shot here soon. And let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, take care.